In 1994, a 14-year-old kid put $500 into a savings account. He didn't touch it. He didn't check it obsessively. He just left it alone. By the time he turned 64, that $500 had grown to over $36,000. He never added another penny. He never did anything. He just understood one concept that most adults never learn in school, never learn at work, and never learn until it's too late to make the most of it. That concept is compound interest. And in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how it works, why it's the most powerful force in personal finance, and, most importantly, the specific number that will make you want to start today rather than next month. Here's what we're covering: what compound interest actually is, and why it feels like magic but isn't. The rule of 72. The trick that lets you calculate your money's doubling time in your head. The number that proves starting at 25 beats investing more at 35. Why your savings account is working against you right now. And the single most powerful thing you can do this week to put compound interest to work for you. If this channel has been useful to you at all, this is the video I'd ask you to share with one person you care about. Because what I'm about to show you is the kind of thing that genuinely changes financial futures. And the earlier someone sees it, the more it changes theirs. Let's go. Let me start with the concept before the maths. Because most people hear compound interest and their eyes glaze over, and I want to make sure that doesn't happen to you. Simple interest is when you earn interest only on the money you put in. Compound interest is when you earn interest on your money and on the interest you've already earned. That sounds like a small difference. It is not a small difference. Here's the analogy. Imagine you have a snowball at the top of a long hill. You give it a small push. As it rolls, it picks up snow. And as it gets bigger, it picks up even more snow. Not because you pushed harder, because the snowball itself is now bigger. The bigger it gets, the faster it grows. That is exactly what compound interest does to money. The more it grows, the faster it grows. And the longer you leave it rolling, the more unstoppable it becomes. Now here's the crucial detail that most people miss. The snowball analogy only works if you start high enough on the hill. In financial terms, that means starting early, not investing more, not being smarter, just starting sooner. Let me show you the number I teased at the start. 2 people, same goal, different starting points. Person A starts investing $300 a month at age 25. They do this until 35, 10 years, then stop completely. Never invest another penny. Person B waits until 35 to start, then invests $300 a month all the way until 65. That's 30 years of investing. Person A invested for 10 years. Person B invested for 30 years. Person B invested 3 times as much money for 3 times as long. Who has more at 65? Person A, by nearly $200,000. Person A ends up with roughly $1.07 million. Person B ends up with roughly $878,000, despite investing 3 times longer and 3 times more money. Let that sit for a moment. The only difference is that person A started 10 years earlier. Compound interest does not reward hard work. It does not reward intelligence. It rewards time. And the cruel irony is that the people who understand this earliest have the most time to take advantage of it. Quick recap. Compound interest means you earn interest on your interest. Money grows on itself. The snowball gets bigger as it rolls. And starting early beats investing more. Every single time. Before I go further, I want to give you a tool you can use for the rest of your life. It's called the rule of 72. Here's how it works. Take 72, divide it by your annual interest rate. The answer tells you roughly how many years it takes your money to double. Let me show you a few examples. Savings account at 0.5% interest. 72 divided by 0.5 equals 144 years to double. Your money doubles in 144 years at a standard savings account. You will not be alive for that. High-yield savings account at 5%. 72 divided by 5 equals 14.4 years. Better. S&P 500 index fund at the historical average of 10%. 72 divided by 10 equals 7.2 years. Your money doubles roughly every 7 years. Now here's where this gets genuinely exciting. If your money doubles every 7 years and you're 25, here's what happens to $10,000 by the time you're 65. Age 32, $20,000. Age 39, $40,000. Age 46, $80,000. Age 53, $160,000. Age 60, $320,000. Age 65, approximately $450,000 from one single $10,000 investment. No additions, no management, just time and a 10% average return. Write the rule of 72 somewhere, you'll see it. Divide 72 by whatever interest rate you're being offered. If the doubling time feels unreasonable for your life, you need a higher rate or you need to start sooner. Quick recap. Divide 72 by your interest rate to find your doubling time. At 10%, money doubles every 7 years. $10,000 at 25 becomes roughly $450,000 by 65 with no additions. Here's something that makes me genuinely frustrated on behalf of every person who hasn't been told this. Inflation in the United States averages around 3% per year. That means the purchasing power of your money decreases by about 3% annually. If your money is sitting in a standard bank savings account earning 0.5% interest, and inflation is running at 3%, you are effectively losing 2.5% of your money's value every single year. You are not protecting your money. You are slowly watching it erode. Let me make this concrete. You have $20,000 in a regular savings account. After 10 years, your balance might say $21,025. You might feel pretty good about that. But in real terms, in what that money can actually buy, you've lost ground. That $21,025 buys less in 10 years than your original $20,000 bought today. This is sometimes called the silent tax. Nobody charges it. Nobody announces it. It just quietly happens while your money sits still. The objection I always hear, but at least it's safe. And yes, a savings account is safe from market crashes, but it is not safe from inflation. There is no savings account in existence that protects you from inflation. The only tool that historically beats inflation over the long term is investing. Now, I am not saying put all your money in the stock market and forget about it. An emergency fund should be in a high-yield savings account, liquid, accessible, earning the best interest rate you can find right now. We covered that in the passive income video. But money you won't need for 5 or more years has no business sitting in a savings account watching itself lose value. That money should be working. Quick recap. Inflation at 3% makes your savings account earning 0.5% a wealth-destroying machine. Real returns matter more than nominal returns. Money you don't need for 5+ years should be invested, not saved. Here is the practical section. No more theory. Just action. The most powerful thing compound interest requires from you is automation. Not intelligence, not timing, not luck. Automation. Because here is the behavioral truth about saving and investing. If the money is available to spend, most people will spend it. Not because they're irresponsible. Because it's there. Because something comes up. Because life is expensive. The solution is to remove the decision entirely. To make saving automatic, so that it happens before you ever see the money. This is called paying yourself first, and it is the single most reliable habit in personal finance. Here is exactly how to do it. Step 1. Decide on a percentage, not an amount, a percentage. 10% is the standard recommendation. If that feels impossible right now, start with 3%. The habit matters more than the number at the beginning. Step 2. Set up an automatic transfer on the day you get paid, or the day after. The transfer should move from your current account into either a high-yield savings account for your emergency fund, or directly into an investment account for long-term wealth building. Step 3. Do not look at it constantly. Compound interest works in years, not weeks. The single biggest mistake investors make is panic selling during market dips and locking in losses right before the recovery. Set it, leave it, review it once a year. Step 4. Increase by 1% every time you get a pay rise. Not your lifestyle, your savings rate. 1% of a pay rise is genuinely unnoticeable in your day-to-day life. Over a 20-year career, those incremental increases compound just like the money itself does. That is the whole system. 4 steps. You can set it up this week, most of it in under an hour. Quick recap. Automate your savings. Pay yourself first. Start with any percentage. Increase by 1% every pay rise. Do not panic sell. Review once a year. Time and consistency beat everything else. Before I wrap up, I want to say something that most finance content won't say. Compound interest is powerful. It is genuinely the most important mathematical concept in personal finance. But it is also slow. It is boring. And for the first several years, it feels like absolutely nothing is happening. This is where most people quit. They invest for 6 months, check their account, see a couple of £100 or dollars of growth, and think, this isn't working. They move the money, they try something else, or worse, they stop altogether. But what they don't see is the curve. Compound growth is not linear. It's exponential. That means it starts slowly and then accelerates dramatically. The first 10 years feel like nothing. The last 10 years feel like a miracle. Think of it like this. If you folded a piece of paper in half 42 times, the stack would reach from the earth to the moon. But the first 10 folds barely get you off the table. Most people quit at fold 7 or 8, and then spend the rest of their lives wondering why wealth seems to accumulate so easily for other people. The people who build significant wealth through compound interest are not smarter. They are not luckier. They are just the ones who kept folding. You now understand something that most adults never properly learn. The question is what you do with it. If you're new here, welcome. MoneyMastered is a channel built on one simple idea. Personal finance should be explained in plain English, with real numbers, without jargon, and without trying to sell you something. Every Tuesday and Thursday there's a new video, and they build on each other. The stock market video, the compound interest video, the 401k video, the passive income video, they're not standalone lessons. They're a curriculum, a complete picture of how money actually works. If you want that complete picture, subscribing is genuinely worth it, not just for the new videos, but because the algorithm will start showing you the older ones too, and they connect. There are also people watching this video right now who have a parent, a sibling, a friend, a partner, who has never had anyone explain these concepts to them, who is leaving money on the table because nobody sat them down and showed them how it works. Share this video with one of those people. It costs you nothing, but 10 years from now it might be worth everything to them. Next week, index funds versus actively managed funds. Why paying more for a fund manager almost always makes you less money, and the one decision portfolio that beats most professional investors over the long run. I'll leave a link right here when it's live. Your money can work harder than you do. It just needs time and a little understanding. See you Tuesday.